सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
This Upanishad, Kenopanishad, and when you join together it becomes Kenopanishad, is named after the first letter, not letter, first word, first word of it. In some of the Upanishads, we hear who the Guru is, who the disciple is. Some of the Upanishads, neither the name of the Guru nor the disciple. Because no sense of ego. Somewhere it has been mentioned, somewhere we don't even know who the teacher is. But the Veda, which is the source of knowledge of Dharma and Brahma, it is Sri Ved Vyasa who compiled it into 4 volumes. Before that it was not a written, so divided it into 4 volumes. And those volumes also became the 4 Veda, Rig, Sam, Yaju and Atharva Veda. Though in the Bhagavad Gita and all you will only hear Rig, Sam, Yaju, because according to the types of mantras, they were called as Rig mantra, Yaju mantra and Sama mantra. Then when he divided them into 4 sections, they became the 4 Veda. This 4 Veda also he divided into various shakhas, various sections, various branches, in which the mantras were also there, the rituals also were there, and there also the upasanas as well as the Upanishads. Therefore, Upanishad is not at the end portion of the Veda. In midst of the Veda, it is embedded. But because it is the acme of knowledge, the highest knowledge, knowing which everything is known, that's why it is called as Vedanta. This particular Upanishad is found in the Sama Veda. And therefore the Shanti part, one is Om Sahana Bhavatu, which we are very, very familiar with. I'll just translate it because very often we have heard it and very often we chant it also. it says Om Sahana Avatu. That please protect us, both the teacher and the taught, from each other also. Yeah? And I tell you, teacher requires more protection from the students. So please protect us. Protect us from all impediments that can come in our studies, in our gaining this knowledge. So please protect us. But main protection what we need is from our own minds. Because lack of shraddha that comes in, lack of faith that comes in, disturbances that come in. Main thing is that neither external nor internal forces become impediment in our, or difficulty in our path to self-realization. So, Om Sahana Avatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu. May we enjoy not only this study, but this whole growth process. May we enjoy our studies. If the moment we don't enjoy something, what happens? Our mind starts brooding over some imaginary enjoyment. So may we enjoy our studies. And when do we enjoy something? When we've got love for it. When we know the importance of it. May we never forget the importance of this study in our knowledge. Therefore, these 2 sessions, relating it with every aspect of our life, our mind, that how essential is this knowledge, because that is what we are pursuing. Otherwise, life after life, we will be searching for something which is already with us. But because we don't know it, because we are ignorant of it, our search will be endless without finding any end to it. So, Sahanau Bhunaktu, which means also may we enjoy the result of this knowledge. Means come to realize this knowledge. Sahaviryam karavavahe. May we put in our efforts with all enthusiasm. Not that, acha chalo, I'm sitting here, like we see in modern colleges. You teach me, let's see. Not that kind of attitude. Nor also teacher should think, I have taught, now if they understand, they understand, they don't understand, they don't understand. No? This is not an academic study where the teacher has to complete a curriculum or a syllabus, get his pay and walk out. And the student is just interested that I get a degree to get a job. So just let's get over with it. Not that kind of attitude. The teacher finds different ways, methods, and elaborations so that the student may easily understand. But it should not only be the effort of the teacher, the guru. The student must participate. Not that, I'm dull, I'm not able to do anything. I just don't understand this thing. We must put in our efforts to study, to reflect, to clarify our doubts. So, sahaviryam karvavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu. That may our studies become fruitful and may we be brilliant to understand this knowledge. So our intellect be brightened. Sometimes it is dull. Sometimes we don't know also why we don't understand. Sometimes the theme is very difficult for us. It is a subtle theme in any case. So tejasvina. So tejasvino aviditam astu. May our studies be fruitful. But the last line, ma vidvishavahai. May there be no misunderstanding in us, because that is the greatest disruption that can happen in this knowledge. And misunderstanding is not something very often we create. It just happens. Many factors are there. Our expectations, our desires, our own low self-esteem or high self-esteem. So many things are there. May we not have any misunderstanding between us. Neither do we behave in such a manner that the Guru misunderstands us. And may we not misunderstand the motive, the intention of our Guru. Because sometimes it is like that. Not only that the Guru is scolding us, correcting us, just like a parrot, And with our parents also, we get so upset when they correct us. Afterwards, when, by the time you realize that your parents were right, your children are telling you you are wrong. See? By the time you realize that your Guru was right, those who think you made your disciples are telling you you are wrong. So, misunderstanding can come. The moment misunderstanding comes, the attunement goes away. In any common relationship, what to talk about Guru-Shishya relationship. Not only that, it is not only between Guru and Shishya, but between Shishya and Shishya also. No? Any form of misunderstanding happens, your mind becomes restless. Now, occasions will be there. Things may go wrong. Sometimes some doubt happens, some misunderstanding also happens. Misunderstanding is something has been misread, misunderstood, misinterpreted. That also can happen. But it is a big disruption in our communication of this knowledge. Therefore, in the Shanti part, which is peace invocation, some are statements of affirmations, some are prayers, but prayer is not some form of beggary, asking for something that we've already been given and the ability to achieve it. Small things we keep on asking. So prayer is neither beggary or a complaint sheet to God. We invoke the higher, and invocation means so that the power of the higher, the brilliance of the higher, the intelligence of the higher flows through us to the world around us through our expressions. Therefore, the importance of these prayers. Now, after that, there are the 3 Shantis, which also many of you might be familiar. That disturbances can come from external forces or cosmic forces, nearby neighborhood environment, and from our own equipments, whether it is the body discomfort, mind agitations, intellect's dullness. These are internal disturbances. Neighboring disturbances, loud music can happen, So we pray, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Even the Shanti, 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 when we are doing Vedic chanting and all that, the words, by the time we are so much just long, like Rudram and Chamakam also, like it's so long and you have to go on non-stop because you break in between any word. I'm telling you, even when you chant or you just break in between, then you get it back, especially in chanting, Vedic chanting is very difficult. And you try chanting alone. Yeah? When everybody is chanting, you want to be the loudest, so that everybody hears you. You're loudest. And if somebody forgets and stops, then suddenly then you mispronounce one word. You mispronounce one word, then afterwards to get that word back or even get back to the same mantra, because there are certain mantras, you go back, 10 mantras. It's like snake and ladders, So this is how this chanting is. Therefore, by the time you finish, it's like, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That's the end. You get rid of it, kind of. So in Vedic chanting, it is Om Shanti, Shanti, and Shanti. So Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. But Gurudev used to say, it should be chanted how? Adi-Daivik, the cosmic forces which are mighty, seem to be distant from the heavens, means from the sky, like thunder, lightning, storms, earthquakes. So, Om Shanti. Yeah, loudly. Shanti. Then nearby forces, Shanti. And to your spell, you whisper, Shanti. So when you invoke it in this manner. Now, even Shanti part becomes a ritual. Ritual means ritual is not a bad word, as how people make. It's just repetitive action. And any repetitive action eventually becomes monotonous. And we just do it. It's what you call namesake. But we do not realize the importance and the effect of these Shanti parts. So just giving the meaning of Shanti part and going ahead will not be doing justice to the power that lies in these Shanti parts. First of all, Vedic mantras are vibrations. They have an effect of, even if you're chanting so loudly, see, once the chanting stops, if the atmosphere becomes peaceful. So they are vibrations in themselves. Then when you understand the meaning of it and chant it with the right emotions, the right feeling, an invocation means that you derive out of it. Invoke out of it. Bring out of it. Therefore, they have to be chanted with feeling. I mean, basically, okay, you're telling me to chant Om Sahana Bhavatu, but what do I need protection from? Oh God, please protect me. So, Om, the Supreme. Then the meaning we hear, we must know the importance of it, because certain things we have the ability. Why ask for that which we have been given the ability, for which we have got the academic education and etc. Oh God, make me pass my interview. Go do your interview properly. You've been already provided the means, We pray for these things. Pray for those things which at this moment are not under our control and our ability. Because misunderstandings can just happen. No? We need protection. Why suddenly some thoughts come in our mind to create misunderstanding? Suddenly faith only goes away. Mind becomes distracted. Mind becomes dull. Even for 2 minutes, you don't understand what was going on. Immediately your mind runs somewhere else. So these verses are invocation. Now, you may not understand right now because we get so used to just chanting. But the power of prayer should not be underestimated. When the modern society tells us affirmations, this, that, these are all assertions, all willful thinking. The power of such positive thoughts, when we repeat it regularly, that itself is the power of japa. But it should be done with that want, with that feeling. Then the effect is so strong immediately. Now, all to gain this knowledge, there are lifetimes of preparation. Still, even in this life, whatever level you have advanced to come and listen to Vedanta, there are distractions. Even coming into the ashram, leaving everything aside, keeping the right attitude, full interest, the inspiration, etc. But something on the way can happen, no? Something can happen. The laundryman left before you went to him. Yeah. Or you gave, your very expensive clothes, and you wonder, should I have given that or not? From where disturbance, what disturbance, how it comes? So we are all coming from different mind attunement. Through these Shanti parts, when everybody together, with all our differences and different mind conditions, but we focus on one single altar of devotion and dedication. Together, wish it not only for ourselves, but for everyone. Therefore, it is in either dual case or in plural. The prayers are between the Guru and the disciple together, or all the disciples together. The togetherness that happens. Now, how to bring all our different minds together when there is one common altar of concentration. This is the principle behind it. And once we understand the principle, apply it, I'm telling you, not only for your spiritual studies, when you have meetings, not only mission meetings, you have today even in corporates, this has been incorporated. That they have a meditation space, or they say, let's start with some silence. But everybody is focusing on the one common altar of concentration. When we are able to do that, all the minds attune with each other. Why I'm giving you examples is because for years, sometimes we keep on chanting. And all our minds, don't think it's you only or he only or she only. All our minds at some times start chanting this mechanically. It's become a daily routine, especially when we are studying here. Yeah, morning chanting, afternoon chanting, every class same chanting, same. That's why every Upanishad at least has got different Shanti parts. So at least it suddenly intrigues you. And this also, I know, other than Om Sahana Bhavatu as Om Apyayantu Mama Angani, suddenly at least something new. So anything new, your mind becomes, alert and enthusiastic. See, can you imagine what psychology our rishis knew for communication of this knowledge? Why I'm explaining this is so that whatever sadhana we are doing, we do it properly. Even improperly, it has its effect. No? Half-heartedly, it has its effect. But its effect can be multiplied many times. Now, Om is considered to be the most sacred sound symbol of the infinite, of Brahman. Therefore, don't consider it as casual. Today, we worship God in idols. When you go to the temple, you wash your mouth and you go, don't you? Yeah? You wash your hands and feet so that they're not dirty. You go in. When you go in the temple, are you talking? You're not supposed to. Nowadays, people do that also. But what you revere, Om is the most subtle, sacred symbol or idol of the truth. Just as the form of Lord Shiva gives you that sense of reverence, awe, and peace, the chanting of Om is invoking that divinity wherever you are, in whichever condition you are in, whichever place or time you are. By chanting Om, you bring divinity here and now. Therefore, Om should be chanted with that reverence. As if we are Om, bag open, Om. Om is that word which is God. Just like the idol of Ram is Ram for you, Om is that. So whenever you utter Om, you're bringing the very presence of the Supreme to manifest. It is there to manifest, to become visible. Otherwise, we consider, okay, if suppose you go to a place which is very dirty, you dirty it and go. Is it not? But that very place, you place a Shiva Linga, you will clean it up. Is it not? A stone only. Therefore, when we chant Om, it must be with concentration and it must be with reverence and devotion. Om is that sacred symbol. Now let me tell you, in my early days as a brahmachari, when I used to go to Singapore, even then, that is about 35 years ago, in modern society, many meditation courses come with, explaining something that we can understand in our present mindset, that, these are different types of waves, and, for sleep, you have this waves, while waking, you are this wave, and then while you go to dream, you have this wave. This is very tangible for our youngsters. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, they will not understand. No? Alpha, beta, theta waves, Greek. That they will understand, So there were many such courses and doing a lot of, spreading this kind of meditation. And generally, their goal is that if you do at this frequency of the mind, then you can be very effective in your job, in your relationship, etc. It's tangible for most people to understand, and it is non-denomination, this is not religion, it's not this, all this thing. So they were running these courses. And some of them were Chinese origin. They were attending our Atma Bodh discourses. Morning I used to take them, they were attending with a lot of enthusiasm. So with her, that lady who was to conduct these courses on these different levels of the mind and how to reach the subtle levels of the mind, the alpha state of mind, etc. So she came up to me and she says, you see, these are all organized courses. And she was a very sincere spiritual seeker herself. She says, what we study in Atma Bodh is like, it's just beyond. We take our students through these procedure or process of meditation. So the West is so much, and they're very good at it. There's nothing wrong with it. They're very good at processes. So they go through these processes, techniques, etc. Because it's all deductive, steps. Today also most of our mindset is like that. We can only understand step, step, step. When you give a sudden whole picture, you go like, I didn't understand that. It was too vast. Because today with the education that the whole world is having, which is very similar, and losing our culture, losing our way of thinking, losing our mindsets. It is hard for us to understand. So this was easy for them to understand. And many people used to pay exorbitant price to go to these kind of courses. And the result of those courses is, oh, your job promotion will take place, your this will take place, that will take place. They were going on like that. But she was a very sincere, and they had course 1, course 2, course 3. She says, I am taking up till course 3. She's an instructor for that. She says, but many of my, people who come, their growth is not taking place. And how do I introduce them more than what we are just teaching them? So they are getting concentration of mind. So I had already explained that two things are very important for a contemplative or a meditative mind. One is purity of mind, and the other is concentration of mind. While we know the power of the concentration of mind, we do not give emphasis nowadays to the purity of the mind. Purity of intentions, positive values, virtues. So I said that if they want to progress, and she said, in fact, some of them are going, crazy. I said, remember, some of the craziest people in the world were born with great concentration. But they only destroyed the world. Whether it was a Ravan, whether it was a Hitler, whatever it may be. So the essential part is that if they want to progress further, they should have values. And because in Atma Bodh I had already taught them Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, that is Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan, all these, which was already taught to them. I said, these are qualities that enrich your mind. That's why they're called as values. They enrich your mind. And it is not just the concentration of mind. Therefore, today what is going on in the name of meditation is also just sit still. It's not useless. It is very good. But without purity of mind, keeping in your mind all your grievances, jealousies, hatreds, past regrets, sorrows, you do japa, japa will have its own effect. Cannot underestimate its power. But if these things are not resolved, through your japa, through your quietening of the mind, then it only intensifies. Therefore, many people who do those kind of crash courses on whatever, whether it is breathing or whether it means pranayama or that, suddenly you go them going crazy, dancing, laughing, catharsis is taking place. Yeah. But no change comes. How we Indians chant Om. Today, really speaking, even the right way of chanting Om as a vibration, let us not delude ourselves, we don't even know that. Some will elongate it, somebody will make it shorter. We don't know that. Some will say, Aum. Yeah. Whether a ma should be longer, or ma should be shorter, all this, nothing you have to worry. Just with reverence, chant Om and just allow your mind to flow with Om to that state of quietude. Because all three vibrations, A, U, Ma, all the three levels of vibrations are present in Om. And when your mind vibrates with the same frequency, your mind attunes. So therefore, when we are chanting the Shanti part, Om is remembering the Supreme Infinite. No other name is given because in language Ma or Amma or Mother or Mummy means the same. But words also we will fight over. No? Whether God, Ishwar, Allah, in its meaning is the same. Maybe people don't determine it as the same, that's different. People will fight for that also. But the power and the universal power of Om, again, what the rishis? Because if it has got a particular word like Ram or something like that, even though etymologically Ram also means something very, it means Brahman only. People can have so many things, but Om doesn't have any one deity or God or Hindu God, Muslim God, Christian God. See the universality. It is the cosmic vibrations that the rishis discovered and helped us tune ourselves so that all the cosmic forces which are outside and even inside us can all be brought to a state of balance. So chant Om with that reverence, that attentiveness. People are talking about going for courses, and sitting there for three months to, have this, to be in the now. But how? Such powerful, but such simple tools are there. Don't take it for granted. Just the chanting of Om 3 times. That also Gurudev used to explain. Why 3 times? Yeah. Because there are 3 types of listeners and speakers, especially if old phones, hello, 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 to be sure you are heard. There are some, the moment you say the first hello, and especially when we used to have long distance calls, which used to be so expensive, and we didn't have these package plan, SIM cards and all that. The moment you spoke, the other person, especially the other side, in the other country, immediately would tell you, yeah, but if you're coming there, you bring this, your 3 minutes are over. Operator says, time up, tang, phone band. Yeah. There are others, you speak, and by the time you've not even finished speaking, they start speaking. But God is an attentive listener. That's why you kind of check. So even that also 3 times, you say, Om, Om, Om. But then everybody can go at different pitches, so we do it at one pitch only, So these 3 Oms. Thus, when you are even doing your meditation, you're told to start with invoking, through Om, whichever deity you worship, with Om. 3 times we chant Om. Before any function, before any worship, for any mantra, we chant Om. This is the power. Therefore, you say, Swamiji, you're not taking guided meditation. This is meditation. If we do not know how to use these mantras, they must be treated with utter reverence. And then see the effect it has on your mind. Right? Now sit straight. Close your eyes gently. Let us chant 3 times Om together. Then afterwards, you chant 3 times Om in your mind. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Feel the peace in that shanti. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshu shrotramato balamindriyani
सर्वाणि
sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam ma brahma
निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Now see the effect from the first time you chanted in the starting of the class and after the class. So make the right use of these Shanti parts. Now when you know the meaning also, now I'll explain Apyayantu also. We decided that the Paduka Puja will continue from here only. So I'm taking the text and then we will continue the Paduka Puja so that with reverence then you will see the effect of the puja. So Apyayantu mamangani. If you think that the rishis were people who wanted us to neglect our body, our family, our life, etc. No. See the very first, that mama angani apyayantu. May my limbs grow in vigor. Because if I have to serve, act in this world, or even follow the spiritual path, I must be firm and sound in my limbs. So, apyayantu mamangani. My speech, and all the disciplines of speech have been said in other scriptures, Vak. My speech must be clear. Again, this teacher and student together, the teacher must be clean. Mumble something. Now the mics are not working, you can't hear behind, but suppose I was just talking to myself, like, sometimes these monks do, after all, you have to just meditate on the self. And half the words are mumbled up and then, so you don't hear anything and then may my speech grow in vigor, in its depth, in its meaning, in its impact, in its clarity. Let my speech be strong, powerful, impact, yet gentle, kind, compassionate. So, Vak, Pranaha, my physiological functions, all. Because, one day you're constipated, you try sitting in this afternoon class. May my pranas, and mind you, however it is hot outside, if you've not conditioned yourself with air condition, etc., your breathing will naturally cool your system. We go now to learn pranayama. But when you're not left nostril, see, watch where you're breathing from right now. Both, you must be a yogi. Automatically the body has its cooling systems. May my pranas function spontaneously and give energy to this equipments of mine. Chakshuhu, my eyes. Clarity, vision. Not that they become so heavy that may I see things clearly. Shrotram, ears. Atho balam indriyani. The strength of my senses, may they all grow in their vitality and their vigor. Apyayantu. So, apyayantu mamangani vak prana chakshu shrotramatho balam indriyani cha sarvani. May they all grow with vigor, with strength. Vitality must be there. Not that, yeah, everybody has got some or the other back problem because our spines, whatever it may be. But maybe have that as till the time of communication of knowledge takes place, that strength I should have to bear. So all these things before the class also, because suddenly sitting and cross-legged sitting on the ground these days. Oh, cramps. No backrest. I remember first time I came, here and Gurudev was taking meditation. We had five sessions. We were sitting on the ground. And then I went up to Gurudev. Gurudev, you say, comfortable asana. Keep your spine erect. Relax. Every limb of my body is screaming. How can I relax? So he laughed and he told me, go sit on the chair. Yeah, just keep your back erect. Now you learn to meditate. So let my limbs be full of vigor, vitality. Let them grow in their vitality, vigor, strength. So if you see, the list is of the sense organs of perception. Eye represents the sense organs of perception. Speech and limbs, organs of actions. Prana, that which gives energy, vitality, the physiological forces in the body, such as breathing in or taking in, excreting, digesting, circulation, all these things. And how much circulation is required when you're sitting down? No? So all this, may they grow in vigor. Then a statement is made to your mind. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. That Brahma, not which we create with our fancies, this God, that God, which by the right means of knowledge, the Upanishads, everything and everyone is Brahman only. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. And very beautiful, the next lines. If you really know the meaning, tears will come in your heart. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I never reject, in the grossest term, as an atheist. There's nothing on this side. There's no God, there's no Brahman, there's no reality, there's no cause. Acha, you came from where? Causeless cause. Without a cause, there's no effect. So you don't exist. So if God doesn't exist, you also don't exist. Forget it. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I never, ever get into that mode of the mind where there is disbelief, no Shraddha, not even the common sense. I begin to lack. that Maham Brahma Nirakuryam, also which means that even as I seek to come to study, let me not give up the seeking of Brahman. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I never, not only may I not deny Brahman, but at the same time, may I never give up my pursuit. However difficult I might think, however tired I might get, however old I might get, I should not give up this Brahman, the supreme reality, the truth. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. But most important, Mama Brahma Nirakarot. Even if I were to give up, O Supreme, please don't abandon me. Don't give up on me. Even if I stray away from the path, may I even forget you. There's this beautiful bhajan that Guruji sings, many of you have met. Bhagwan meri naiya us par laga dena, ab tak to nibhaya hai, aage bhi nibha dena. Very beautiful words. That, O Lord, please take me across this ocean, this mighty ocean, this vast ocean. Take my boat across to the other shore. Up till now, so much you have done for me. Further also, please take care of me. And then a verse comes in that, no? संभव है झंझटों में तुमको मैं भूल जाऊं. That in this whole worldly affairs, it is possible that I might forget you. But Nath, kabhi tum mujhko na bula dena. That, O Lord, you do not abandon me. So see how beautiful. May I never forget you. May I never spurn you. Spurn, the word actually means, kick you out of my life. And that's exactly what we do. God is the first thing we kick out of our life. Just because God did not do what? That during COVID time did not give me servants in the house. So I discard. I don't believe in God. I prayed, what? One time. Broke what? One coconut. Lighted what? One candle. Did what? One namaz. And Bhagwan should give me millions. May I, even if I, in my vanity, in my problems, forget you, but you please do not forget me. And therefore, let there be no rejection of each other, neglect of each other, forgetfulness of each other. This we are telling Bhagwan. Bhagwan never forgets us. But we pray, Bhagwan, even if I make a mistake, you please forgive me out of your greatness. And then says that Tad Atmani Nirateya Upanishadsu Dharmaha Te Mahi Santu, Te Mahi Santu, Te Mahi Santu. And in me, all these virtues that have been listed in the Upanishads for a seeker, for a human being, may they all reside in me in the fullest measure. See what a beautiful prayer. Te Mahi Santu, Te Mahi Santu. And even if I were to forget you, you don't abandon me. That is why when we do puja, we do prayer, it is to bring about this sense of reverence and surrender. remembrance of the Lord's, the Guru's greatness. And don't take yourself to that extent that you separate yourself to that extent. Nothing is impossible for Bhagwan. So Bhagwan, even if I waver away too far, you come and get me. This I am giving you. I am asking you that even I abandon you, you don't abandon me. Ma nirakarot. Please do not abandon me. So when we have that privilege, tell it and take that privilege. And therefore, we always worship Lord Guru to remind us. And in the Paduka Puja or any puja, when we do the Archana, we are surrendering all our vasanas, good or bad. But you offer it. So feel your negativity. Again, if you do it with feelings, you're allowing your mind to let go. And with every name which speaks about the nature, the qualities, the virtues, the greatness of the action are there in the names of the Lord, the Guru. So we are meditating on that. So that which we have prayed, that may I never forget you, may you never abandon me, may all those virtues that are required to realize this truth, to gain this knowledge, may they all which are there in you, O Lord, my Guru, may they reside in me. May they remain with me. So again, what we are studying, all these worship, which we just brush off as rituals, they are meant, when we do it with proper understanding, bhavna, feeling, and actions, they bring in those virtues, that quietude, those requirements for gaining this knowledge. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari